Okay, let's go ahead and get started. Welcome to Tech Tuesday on Procore Explore. Procore Explore is the new open beta tool for Procore to allow you to actually get into the new Procore tools. So for those that don't have Procore on the call, sorry. For those that do, hopefully you learn something new and start thinking about how to start implementing this. So again, Tech Tip Tuesday, goal is to get better together, build a little better together. We're going to give a quick overview, and for today, I'm going to do an overview of what Procore Explore is and an introduction to all of these, and then that's where I'll cut the video, and then we're going to do a deep dive into everything that you guys request as far as different tools. So I'll do an overview of all the tools and go on there. So what is Procore Explore? Procore gets you access to all Procore's new betas that they have out. Anything that's available, you can determine when and how you want to implement them, and then do a phased implementation. Actually, do you want to apply it to a person, to a project, or to the entire company all at once? So you can start thinking about Procore changes a lot of things on us without having the ability to really dive in and see what are the parts and pieces. These are the new betas that are out and available. There's a budget code comparison workflow, a project notes or budget notes, bulk add company. Some easy wins that I would recommend implementing are bulking added users, consolidating your tool settings, correspondence view, and then some things that you have to think about a little bit if you want to implement are a project overview, project home, Procore home, project design, redesign, budget code attributes, snapshots, and a kickoff side panel. So let's get in and show you how to get this accessed. So you're going to be at your new, inside of your project or your company level home here, and you're going to come here to company tools, select admin, and your Procore Explore will be here on your right hand side. If you don't have that yet, let your Procore team know. They should be able to add that for you. It's, I believe, rolled out to everyone at this point. So Procore Explore, the first time you get in here, you'll have to do a agreement to actually use it. There's a disclaimer. You check that box, hit accept, and you'll get access to all these different tools. So I'm going to highlight the ones that have been released real quick. So budget code comparison tool. For those that are using the new workflow betas or the new workflows 2.0, they're not beta anymore. I think so. Yeah, they're not beta anymore. But it lets you get control, more granular control based on budget codes and comparison of like your workflow item. Like for example, a budget or a change event can only use 95% of the budget amount. So like if you had HVAC was budgeted for $1 million, you could write a change order for 95 or 950,000, and you could put a disclaimer and move different things down a different path and basically do conditional formatting or conditional workflows based on a percentage or a total amount over budget and things like that. So it gives you more ability to go in granular. So that's on there. As you set up your workflows, just consider how you want to use that. Budget notes is released. This adds an additional column to the right of your budget so that you can actually add notes to each individual lines, put it there. I recommend doing that as you create your workflows. If you have your margin and estimated cost of completion, things like that, you can actually see, why do I have a negative margin on that line, for example? Why is my projected over under above what it should be? That's out there. What you need to do to implement that is go into your budget view under admin right here and go ahead and update your view so it's there to feel available. Another one that is already here is the bulk add company cost codes. I don't know how many people are using subjobs, but it was really tedious to go into each subjob and add your cost codes. They've made that a little bit easier. There's if you click on here now under your work breakdown structure, there's a bulk add company cost codes, and it puts you through this. Select your subjobs and then hit add and select all the cost codes that you want to apply. A lot better than going into each one of these 5 subjobs. If you're not using subjobs, let me know. I can explain how those are used inside your organization as well. So those are the ones that are released right now. So some ones that I would select and say, hey, turn these on, not going to change a whole lot inside your organization, would be your bulk add users to project. If you look at when you add a new company, this just allows you, or sorry, a new person to your company, this allows you to quickly add them to projects. Basically go through, select drop down, and then hit apply, choose a project role, and hit next. Or if there's a new architect or someone else that gets added for a client, you can quickly add them to all your companies. If you go into your directory, basically scroll down here to the bottom, save and manage companies. Here's a really quick way to go ahead and add these to all different projects. So real easy. Another one, consolidated tool settings. Right here, simple way you can get really quickly underneath your project level admin. You can get to all your different tools really quickly and just configure them rather than going into each individual tool under project tools and select them. You can go there all at once. Turn that on. You can use it or not. It's fine. And then you have correspondence modern view. You can go ahead and add that as well. When you join these, you select join beta. You can select apply to specific your entire company. You can select apply to specific account or projects. So you can choose a project and apply it that way. Or in some cases, for some of these, there's going to be apply to specific users and you search the user out. And then all you got to do when you're done is hit accept and join. And now you'll have that new view right there. Some that I would think about whether you want to implement them or not, the new project overview page. So this is the new project overview page. It just organizes it a little bit cleaner. You can have a project message, drawings and links. You can quickly change your status or your stage of your project. So I would recommend, honestly, everyone implement this. Just think about how you're going to deploy it. Are you going to just turn it on for everyone? Don't move someone's cheese on them. The big things that disappear kind of is this all open items. And then your schedule. If you're using that schedule at the bottom to see your project schedule, it is not in this view anymore. You have to go to the schedule tool to see it. All open items will be hidden a little bit. Schedule tool will disappear. But I would recommend turning this on. Really, maybe you turn it on per project. Maybe you turn it on for specific users. But you can really start giving people that information and knowledge. Just make sure you tell them you're going to do it. The next one is the Procore Home. You saw when I jumped in here, there's a new modern home view. I like this one, except for a couple things. If you look at my tools, my health dashboard and my open items are now underneath company tools. So those are hidden. If I look at here and I look at these, the reports are right here. So they change. It's somewhat nice, but just again, make sure you think about how you want to implement it. You have a redesign in your project directory. So you can have an updated there, how that looks. Project directory redesign. If I look here and go to my directory for my Lego house, it basically creates users, companies, distribution groups. You can go active, inactive, and company, and then you add, these are a little updated as well. So I like that one. Again, just think about how you want to implement it. Kind of a drastic change will surprise a few people. Cost code attributes is a cool one. Doesn't really turn anything on, but this gives another layer of granularity for how you can group it. So you could do contract type here. You could do a group by, you can add a different attribute to group your budget by. You can also compare it to like a prime contract or a client contract. And if you have two different sets of cost codes, so that really helps organize that if someone wants to see it. Same way with your prime contract and your prime contract invoice, you can group it by that. So that makes it a little helpful. The last two here are really good is these project status snapshots. So we've started implementing these with a few companies. Basically, how do you report your project status up? So it lets you create, and when you go into your budget, and I don't know if I have a budget on this project, but you can actually, when you create a budget snapshot, it will ask whether or not you want this to be a project status snapshot or an ad hoc. These project status snapshots report up to the company level. So I really like this so that you can start doing better reporting and your reporting can match exactly how you want to see your budget view. So that's really helpful. So I recommend turning this on. Again, just making sure you teach people what this project status button is, and that will work there. My last one is my project kickoff. So new kickoff side panel app. This is helpful if you're kind of just getting into Procore and you don't have a procedure for how to set up a project. It creates a checklist here on the right-hand side for all the things you want to go through and make sure that you configured, get your drawing set up, get your spec set up, RFIs, kind of work through it here. One thing I will say is right now it doesn't allow you to customize this for your own company. So as that gets done, I think that's be part of the first release when it's fully released. That will be great. It's going to be really impactful. But right now, it's really just a checklist and reminders. Hey, I'm not using action plans, so I can just check that off, right? But yeah, here we want to set up incidents. So we can go right to the incident tool, get that set up. It's going to open up that tool, and then you can go ahead and configure it however you need to. That's a quick overview of everything. So with that, I would recommend just kind of jumping into those betas, checking them out, and making sure that you have everything that you need. And thanks for taking the time.